Hey you guys, and welcome to the discussion slash review of Old Man's Word by John Scalzi for the book club that is hosted by Justus R. Stone here on YouTube, and I'm gonna link his channel down below as well as his Facebook and his Twitter. And basically what he does is each month takes a book, breaks it up into parts, and we'll do a video review for those each week, basically 3 parts. So I have taken some notes about the first part, which is chapters 1 through 6. So let's get started. Here in this futuristic sort of Earth thing, there is this private company called the CDF. I forgot what it stood for. But anyway, they're kind of separate from the world government, and they basically kind of control intergalactic space travel or whatever. So here on this planet, people at the age of 75 have the choice to join them to become soldiers in their effort to colonize parts of the universe. They're like kind of really shady though, and not even the government like that whose soil they're on really knows all of their technology or what their real like purpose is, so to speak. I don't know how it happened. It's just they're humans, I think, and they want human colonization, and you know, you have to fight for that real estate, so they need soldiers, and they take the old people, I guess, because they have lives and have had lives and experiment. And also apparently they have a way to apparently turn them young again, because really how else were you going to explain getting soldiers who are 75 years old? And here we meet John Perry, who on his 75th birthday joined the army and like said goodbye. Like, I'm just gonna read the first sentence. I did 2 things on my 75th birthday. I visited my wife's grave, then I joined the army. And I just love that first sentence, and I always feel the need to share it because it just like sucked me right in, and the writing style and how it was written just continued like to do so. So John and his wife had previously signed up for this thing a couple of years ago. You know, they've been getting packets for a while, like explaining stuff, and they have an opportunity even all the way up until almost the very end to like back out of it. Before that is, they actually get like on their space technology stuff. There is basically something like an elevator thing that takes them from here on Earth all the way up into a spaceship, in which they will like go off into space and things like that. And I like how they kind of explain everything, this world building and the pacing, and I like how they some of the characters they brought in, like explain some of the basics of how this might work, but no one really knows for sure because it's so like technology so far advanced that they just can't figure it out, and the government is not allowed to get close to it even though they want to get their hands on it. And one of the characters, Harry, who like taught physics to like high school students and was like an engineer and stuff, was like, I don't know, it's kind of like Rhonda Hope in the prayers. Like, it's just seems almost like magic in a way. He's like, he figured that they kind of cheated, which is when they probably met another alien race and they exchanged stuff. So they were able to reverse engineer what they had made and learn all this new stuff and what was possible than, you know, creating stuff on your own. And I just kind of like, that was interesting. It was a nice information. I liked how it was given to us, and it wasn't like one big information dump in which there's like technical stuff and you're just going no. It was interesting all the way through for the first 6 chapters. It was so good, and not much probably will have happened. We're basically just seeing his journey from leaving Earth to getting on this space shuttle and kind of figuring out exactly how they will turn him young again. And along the way he meets these 6 other people, and they kind of group together. Like, there's some kind of jokes about like being in high school and like forming a clique, so to speak, and they call themselves the Old Farts. And I have to say, like, out of all of them, I think I like Thomas like the best. He's like this one, he's like an ex-doctor, and he just like says like, do as I say, not as I do or like whatever, because he's like always just eating all these fattening food. Like when we first meet him at the age of 75, that could clearly give him a heart attack at any minute, and he's just like, yeah, if my patients had actually listened to what I said instead of what I do, they'd probably survive. And I'm just like, dude, that's just like gallows humor right there. Now part of this book, like they first kind of speeds up they kind of I really liked how they explained the technology. I'm trying not to give like a review since you read the book. One of my favorite parts though was kind of like when John was getting like the injection for the stuff that's gonna like be in his brain to like watch it or whatever that word is called, and he's just like, I will kick you if something else stings, and I'm just loving all that and stuff. Actually, one of the talking points that I had was, would I actually sign up for something like this if I was the age of 75? Because you're leaving your planet, your family and your friends, and you can never ever go back, because you know, once you're off Earth, you're off Earth. They won't allow you to come back. They'll put you on another planet after your terms of service is up, and they can keep you up for 10 years, even though the contract is for 3, which could kind of be scary. But hey, if you manage to last 10 years in the army, good on you. Because all I have to say is, like, on one hand, I can kind of see how it'd be hard leaving Earth, but I didn't see any reason why they wouldn't. I mean, they're kind of old. It just depends, I guess, on your fears. Like, are you fear of dying? Is that a thing? Then you probably want to go there. But then it's not rational, because you're going to be joining the army and you're going to be fighting and stuff, and it's like you could die on the battlefield. One person, like, I feel like John just left because, you know, it's something him and his wife had wanted to do, and he wants to kind of honor her memory in that way. And then there's this other character, Jesse, who just like never left the state of Texas and was just like, I want to go out in the great beyond. And some people are just like, I don't know, I don't want to die, stuff like that. All that different kind of things. And Justus made the comment about how it was kind of interesting to see this kind of space adventure type thing take place from an older perspective, and I didn't really think about that like when I was reading it. But I guess I don't read a whole, but I think my space reading has kind of been limited these days, so they're not really in my memory. I mean, the last space book I think I read that I remember is Ender's Game, which I have read millions of times before. I love it. But I also but he's like 12 in that one. But I also read the ones where like he was older, and it was kind of like way different from how Ender's Game was in a way, which is all different and interesting. And I liked seeing him like go through his life and how he views like all the technology. So that is kind of interesting in that way. Also, the government, I did talk a little bit about the government versus the CDF, the shady, and the government. Well, the government is probably shady in its own right, but I felt like that whole thing, because you don't really actually know anything. All you hear rumors a lot, and it's kind of interesting. Like at one point, the government tried to shut them down, but then 75-year-olds would just go missing. So like they really couldn't like do anything. So I just can't imagine like that's gonna happen anytime soon. And then I wanted to talk about like when we finally kind of learn like how they will get to be made young again when, you know, they transfer the consciousness, which I really love that part, and like seeing John's memories and stuff, and how the fact that he didn't kind of freak out like right away. I mean, it was kind of interesting that he like stayed conscious through the transfer of consciousness. Like that kind of like body. I'm not sure if I would want to be green, but it'd be interesting to see what kind of body I could make for any type of work, because these bodies are just made to be soldiers, and then once they finish their contract, they get regular human bodies. So I think that's interesting, because one of the things I was thinking of, like, I have like no like fighting skills, like, but that body would actually help me. I'd be able to maneuver and do like matrix stuff. Like I could do that on camera, like right at the sick thing. So I really like that thing. And then also they had this thing called a brain pal, and it's kind of like internet in your head a little bit. I describe it that way because it's like there's a voice and it talks to you, so it's like an artificial intelligence. But he could also like download episodes of the Looney Tunes, I guess, into his brain, which I really thought was really cool. And he just like gave it the name Asshole. Apparently he wasn't the first one, he wasn't the last one. Many people didn't like it. Only one person in the group like that we talked to really liked it, named it Sweetie. I don't know, I think that'd be kind of cool. and the medical like advances that they kind of made in here. They don't go into too much detail, but like at one point, like as an old person, they're getting all these like scans and stuff, and basically almost everyone had like some form of cancer that was starting early, and Thomas had made the comment like if they had this back on Earth they could prevent so much stuff, which kind of led to me being like, CDF, you should like do that. Like you could try to make it private. I mean, at least then most of the population will probably live to 75 so they can decide to join your army. You know what I'm saying? Like John's wife could have had that aneurysm prevented maybe, and then she could have joined your army so you could have more soldiers. This is just me like thinking about stuff. And then also there was that the whole like after they got the new bodies, you know, it's when they're younger, nubile and fresh, I guess, and they're just doing it like everywhere. Like I was just kind of like, wow, he went there. I like just mentioned it. I was just laughing like the whole way through because John just like gets jumped and he's just like, okay. And I like how they like I don't really see much like I guess what you could say gay characters in a lot of books, but in here they have some, but they just kind of like it's not really a thing, it's just something that happens. So like Alan, he's the one who's gay, and they're like talking about the fact that, and during one of the tests, like John had walked into this room, there's this woman naked, and he had to tell her about his 7th birthday party. And then it's just like Alan's like, well, I got a man, and he's like, well, what was the point of that? The woman and being naked, not Alan being gay. And he's just like, whatever, thanks. And then there's that whole Susan, Tom, Alan thing, which is like weird. I was just like, so we're not gonna go into that, are we? Like, I need some more information here, but it's not that type of book. But all in all, I really did enjoy this novel. Like, what were you guys' thoughts on it? Would you guys join? What would be the first thing you think about doing in your new body? Because there's this one part where, you know, there's some people, they're trying out their martial arts move, and I'm not sure if they were like martial arts before, but it'd be really cool to be all of a sudden to do some really cool moves and stuff. I think would I actually go? I'd probably join, maybe, if I was. It depends. I think I would have to live the life first, which is definitely true. But I'm kind of lazy, so I'm not sure if that would just like transfer over into my other, like, I can't stop being lazy, but I guess I would have to if I joined the army. I mean, but I would kind of feel different because I'd already be like having a six-pack and stuff like that, so it would be, I'd be more enhanced, so I'd probably be able to maintain it more. And I don't think you could get fat no matter what because of the type of bodies that they had. So that's basically all I kind of wanted to say for now. I mean, a lot happens and a lot doesn't happen during the first part. Like, there's no like frankly like more action. They're just about to split up when the first part ends, which is like really sad and bittersweet. Some of them are going off together, one of them's going off alone, and it's just kind of sad, and you're kind of like, oh my god, I just wanted you guys to stay together. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all kind of washes out, and I am going to go off and read, and you guys let me know all your opinions down below, because I think this video has gotten way too long, and I will see you guys later. Bye!